Hi guys, it's Amanda from the Social Studio. Hope you're really well. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. Just been busy. I just needed to take a little bit of time out. So this week I want to share with you my progress on the Sasha trousers, which has progressed okay. If you've seen my video for my July makes, it is about making the sashes. I made a 12 back in June and I'm going to make them up, so that's what I'm planning on doing this week. But I wanted to take you through some of the alterations that I've done, because I know trouser making can be a little bit fearful, and so I wanted to demystify my version of how I do alterations. So we're going to have a look at some of the basic alterations of a flat butt alteration, tapering out any excess, lengthening crotch lines, and also shortening crotch lines where we need to. So let's have a little look, okay? And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this, guys. So yeah, here we go. So these were my first 12 that I put together. Literally, as I say, really quite basic, just one waistband. Ideally, really, you should put the actual facing on your waistband to give it a little bit more structure, and just front and the back legs. So I could see that I'd got diagonal wrinkles coming from the crotch, and it feels quite low as well. So that tells me straight away that I need to actually take back, because even if I pull them up, it still feels a little bit low through that front crotch area. Then there was some bagginess going on around, not too bad, but a lot of wrinkles through the back leg area. So I like to do just one alteration kind of at a time, one on the front, one on the back. So this low front crotch here at the moment, that just tells me I need to reduce the length of the crotch. It's not taking a slice across, it's actually taking it from in the thigh to actually tuck that around, and it fits under your undercarriage a little bit more. Then my normal flat bottom alteration, just to pinch out that little bit, that wrinkles, all those wrinkles, just excess fabric going through there to pinch out. So let's have a look at those two basic alterations on the pattern pieces. So here I've got my traced pattern. It's far better to trace your pattern when you know that you've got some alterations to do and that you're going to be slashing and hacking it about to preserve the original pattern. Now we did a straight 14 to start with, and then to take that extra excess out for the flat bottom alteration is really quite a quick and easy one. So if something is baggy, we're going to pinch it out. If something's tight, we're going to slash and spread and add more fabric in. So what we do, so from that point that's underneath our bottom, that's going across the back of the thigh area, we're going to draw a line from the curve out towards the side hip or thigh. Pop in your seam allowance, which for the sashes is 5/8, 1.5 centimetres. We're then going to cut through the line, making sure you're using your paper scissors. All the way across till you get to your seam stitch line, and then make that your hinge point and just trim in. So we've got the hinge point on the actual stitch line. We can then fold over the amount that we want to take out. Now it's much better to sort of start with small increments, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch. I played around with mine and I've taken out about 3/4 of an inch on that line, and we then tape this back together, and you will then smooth out the curve through that bottom back curve. Now you've actually in essence now made this curve shorter by taking this amount in. If it is that you've just taken out 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you've then, when you take them out on your toile, so if I bring in my toile, you might be able to see that I literally just undid it and I took out, just put a big dart across just so I could sort of see, so you can still see where my stitch lines and bits of thread have been. So I just took that across just to see if that was going to be enough, and that's where I then altered a little bit. Now if you find that you're starting to get a little bit of drag or a V shape coming through that back area, let me pop this back on. So at the moment I'm not too bad, I've got that through. So yeah, I've just dropped down in that back crutch area about 1/4 of an inch. So by scooting that through, I've just dropped about 1/4 of an inch, and I've lifted this seat area upwards to get rid of that excess. If, as I say, you feel that you're getting a bit of a drag down, we can then actually just extend the actual crutch line back through, of which I've done here. Now I've extended it through because now I took out this area, and then also on my front piece I'd taken pieces out, so I felt that I was starting to get a bit of a drag down. So when I was sitting, the actual back area was coming down a little bit low, and you might be getting a little bit of that builder's butt occurring. So to actually extend a little bit of the line, I'd then taken and extended that back line out fractionally to compensate, but here I've still retained that little bit of area, so you can see where I've just actually stuck a piece of paper on, extended it through about 1/2 an inch, and tapered that line into my back thigh. Now I did feel that the back of the trouser again was still a little bit baggy through that area. So as I cut across, I actually then took a parallel line down with the grain line from the ankle. I wanted to reduce the ankle width, and I cut up and again folded over to narrow the ankle, so which it's taken at the back of the knee about 1 centimetre out, tapering to nothing. So if you do that alteration and then that one, then you haven't got loads of different intersections coming, and it just allows the pattern to sit nice and flat again. So I'll just change over and I'll show you the front pattern piece. Front pattern, let's get that one lined up. If you can recall, I'd got it was dragging down and felt quite low at the front. Okay, so this is my original line. This is the original 14. So here I have then taken a line and cut through and hinged at that inner thigh, and I've pulled it over again 1/2 an inch, again working small sections. 1/4 of an inch can make a big difference on pattern alterations. So go steady, do them a little bit at a time. As I say, you can then place these alterations onto your original toile. You haven't got to keep making a new toile. I've then dragged that back over, okay, because I took that out, I wanted to add a little bit to the back, and that's why I've just extended the back piece, okay, through. The other alteration on the back, if you feel that you're getting a little bit of a hungry bottom through there, and again that you've got that drag down, what I did was to actually bring it down and drop the curve. So this is going to eliminate that hungry bum where it's going up a little bit too harsh. So dropping it down again, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, blend it in to your original line. That way you're actually extending, even though you're taking fabric away, you're actually extending the actual length of your curve, that back curve. So I'll pop that back onto the pattern piece in a moment. I just wanted to go through here. So as you can see that I've come from my original 14 line through that one and get onto the correct line. There we go. So this is my original size 14 line. So you can see that by dragging that back, I've dragged it back about 1/4 inch, even though it looks more on the actual pattern. I then felt there was still a little bit of an excess, so I've scooped out a little bit on that front curve. So where this was still a little bit long, I've just scooped that through and just smoothed the pattern piece available there to me. So because of all these alterations, as I say, it's that back length on the bottom, on the derriere. There we go. That if I was to measure, yeah, so that's my original line, that's my notches, and this is where I've started to change. So if I actually walk that round, I've retained, or I've actually just gained an extra 1/4 inch in the entire back length. So the back length was absolutely fine, but with those alterations, by taking bits out, it would have shortened it too much. So I've extended it as a recap through the back length. I then scooped out, you can see, and lengthened the line through just to lower. So that's a low bottom adjustment, because of as we get older, our bottom does start to drop a little bit. It's perhaps not as perky and as peachy as it used to be. So therefore, as it's sitting a little bit lower, we just need to drop it down so our peach, the cheeks of our bottom, will sit nicely into that fabric curve. So I hope, guys, you found that really useful and that it's taken a little bit of fear out of making trousers. Remember, each make is a process and we refine and tweak anything along the way. So yeah, just have fun. Don't be scared of attempting them. It's a little bit of fabric, okay? And yeah, just have fun. Leave any comments below. If you've liked it, give us a thumbs up, guys, and subscribe if you wish to. And we'll be bringing you more hints and tips and inspiration along the way. Have a really super week, and I will see you very soon. Take care now. Bye.